All right, welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video by the Pied Piper here. Hey, just wanted to thank you for jumping in and watching these. I'm not a content creator by trade, but I do want to make sure that people understand that in 2025, what Raid can be. I talked about my history with the game. You can see after 3 days here, I've already reached level 31. I did that by focusing on the missions, the quests, and handling all the stuff that popped up, a little bit of dust that popped up and said, hey, go do this. Don't go do what you want to do. They actually did a pretty good job of laying out the beginning of the game, making sure that you stay focused, and just note that the entire beginning is to just get Kale to level 50, 5-star 50. I covered why we picked Kale earlier for clan boss. So first thing I did when I jumped in was I found a clan, and I started hitting clan boss as soon as I got my team up to 4-star champions. That's what I started, and you can see already I'm able to do easy in one key, and I can do hard, the minimum, or normal, the minimum chest I can get on one key as well. Just a couple days into the account, and that's super important because it's going to get you more free stuff, more energy, more gear, some pots. So here I'm going to go through, just showing you the clan I joined. Yeah, I didn't pick the name of it. I actually didn't even look at it. Just jumped into one that looked like it had a pretty good number of members that had some activity. And the stars aren't the best indicator of activity, but it does show you that people are doing things because you have to attack clan boss in order to get a star. You have to log in to get a star. So the minimum requirements to get those stars kind of give you some generic idea of what the clan is up to. And here you can see I'm looking at my character, but those stars are going to be what we're focused on. And saying, hey, are people getting on? Here's a person that hasn't logged in for 2 years. Don't care, not my problem. You can see a lot of activity within the day, and that's really what's important. So already throwing a champ in the Guardian Ring for training. Okay, you'll note I have already spent every gem. I saved every gem I had and put it all into the mine. So through all the free stuff and the activities that I've been doing, I've already gotten over 1,000 gems. Didn't spend a single one anywhere other than the gem mine, because this will pay us back in time. So my number one goal of gems is to upgrade the mine to level 3. After that, I will begin to unlock more champ training sections in the Guardian Ring. Sorry about the cutoff on the screen here, but again, just so you can see, day 3 of the account. I'm not a content creator, just trying to put out some tutorials for some people to get them to where ultimately, hopefully, my main account is, which took years, so, not going to do that in one day. Just going through and collecting my rewards, and I will move to following the dots. Now, this one is the referral links. Obviously, it's good if you can get people to do it. You just copy it, you paste it, you send it to a friend, an email. The rewards are great, but good luck getting 6 people, 3 to start and then another 3. Good luck getting them to play the game. Now, if you can do it, awesome. I mean, we'll springboard the account, but we won't be doing that here. I did on my main account do some Smurf accounts, so that I went through and I leveled them up for the free rewards because I didn't want to spend money then. Hey, my main account I do spend a little money on. The number one thing I do is spend the $10 a month on the gem pack, but again, this focus is going to be on how not to do that. And here it is. I'm completing the dailies, right? Just going to go through, pick up all my freebies. Million silver, not a bad little way to get started. And everything else is not free, so we're going to be bailing on that. But so many of the stuff popped up on the new account, like I didn't realize I forgot the New Year's deal was there. So grab that. But I do like to go through and see what's free. Sometimes I miss things, and you'll always get a regular gift. That's every day, so you want to grab that. Taking a look at the champions. Again, just reviewing. I've got Kale here. You can see I've got him up to level 50 on 5-star. The important thing to know is I did it all through the campaign, right? I've progressed from normal into hard. And the important thing here is you want to get the 3 stars. You need the 3 stars. You get rewards for 3-starring them, right? Beat the stage, beat it with nobody dying on the team, and then doing it with 2 or few champions. So I try to do it with Kale alone because it's faster. If it doesn't work, I throw in another champ, which I'll touch on here in a second. But just kind of showing you You want to get all these 3 stars, and you get all the rewards on the bottom. You can see those as you collect these stars. The rewards get pretty decent. A lot of energy, and that kept me moving really, really quick in the first 2 days. Also focusing on the missions. Again, 68 to 76 is pretty decent for day 3. And then the challenges are the other thing. I let challenges guide me, and really the artifacts were probably the easiest to do. Um, I focused on those. Some of these you just can't do immediately. Like I don't even have a champion that can steal a buff from the magic dungeon yet. Um, Whether or not I can win a defense in arena, time will tell. That's just eventually I will, but God only knows when, because it's, the account's brand new. And here I'm just showing you. Yeah, I can't even. I don't have a champion that can remove or steal a buff yet. I'll be watching for a champion that can do that. We'll talk about where you can see some of the skills and things here in a minute. Also worth mentioning the magic keep there. You can see I'm on stage 5. I'll do a tour a little bit later, but again, just talking about the daily things that you want to walk through here and do. Also worth noting is those dungeons are open for the first 7 days, I want to say, of the account. And really, I'm just trying to say, follow through on the challenges. A lot of free rewards there and early progression, but the main thing you need to do is focus on Kale. You'll get an opportunity, a lot of champions you can upgrade, save them all. Don't spend any shards. There's plenty of little ones you'll get through the campaign, saving all the shards. I'm gonna have to change the screen recording resolution on this somehow. I'll have to figure that out. Because this is not how you want to see this. I do have a couple void shards, and I think I'm up to 9 ancient shards is what you're not seeing there. For whatever reason, it's being cut off. Hopefully I'll get better at video content over time. But again, try not to spend any of your shards. You really don't want to. You want to hoard all those for events and stuff, because right now, beginning of the year, there aren't really anything going on. And so I'm just hoarding resources. And even when something does come up, I already know I'm not going to be able to do the first fusion. So I'm not going to bother, right? The only thing cooking is the Winter's Vent one right now. I went through, ultimately, I went for the epic book, right? Because I know eventually I'll have epic champions that I need books for. Artifact enchantment event, I will try to do that. Now that I get a free 1,000,000 silver coming my way, I'll probably spend that to finish that event and get the other shard. Just collecting. Some of the stuff I am saving, like the 200 energy. Worth noting, at the very, very beginning, because I'm only level 31, I don't get up to the 130 energy maximum storage. I think I'm at like 91 or 97 right now. I use the lightning bolt freebies first before I use the refills. Use the refills last, because as you level up, you do get a little bit more energy per refill, and so it's worth saving those and using the guaranteed ones. And that's just a little tip there. Use the predetermined amount of energy versus the refills. Now I'm just going to go through and do my dailies. Summon 3 champions. Don't have a lot of shards, so I'm not doing a 10 pool. Right, just 1, 2, 3. That's all I need anyway. Do the minimum to finish these dailies. I will say sorry, this first video is going to be super duper long. Moving forward, I'm going to try to keep them to 5 to 10 minutes. But just walking you through what to do here. Purchase that in the market here. I'm looking, is there anything interesting? No, the only thing I'd be looking for are speed gear that has a substat of speed. I might buy that, and it'd need to be 5-star or better, because it's hard for me to get that right now. So I did get a weapon earlier. I'm going to show you that. The one I have bought is right here. I got this yesterday, and it's already on her, a rare with the substat of speed, and you can't see it again, my apologies. But the top stat there is speed, and the other one is attack percentage. And I was like, okay, I'll buy that. It's a lot of silver, but it's a really good piece of gear, and it will progress my account, and I knew it would land on the champion immediately. Other than that, what we really want to do is go through, and I'm looking for gear that has substat of speed. It's going to be the most important stat. The next thing I'm looking for is crit rate. And you can see here I'm going through, looking at my gauntlets that have crit rate as a primary stat. And those are going to be the ones I focus on for my damage dealers. Now, for me, it's Kale. You can already see I got him in a life steal gauntlet here. It's crit rate as the primary stat. If you didn't catch it earlier, even with that, Kale is not hitting 100% crit rate, and that is a focus. Like, that's not a great piece of gear. But that one's arguably a little bit better. Is what I'm trying to say. Man, it's really poor that this is cut off, but I'm not going to go back and re-record it. So I'm going to go through here my stats, and you can see the bottom right, crit rate. I'm just going to show you the gear. Didn't realize that this was going to be a complete waste of time for you, but ultimately getting a 5-star set of crit rate gauntlets, or even a 6-star set of crit rate gauntlets, will be what ends up on him. I got him as high as I could for now, so I think he's 92% crit rate, and that's going to be good enough to get me through. Here I'm just going to be trying to say, hey, don't spend your silver where you don't need to. If you think it's a good piece of gear, don't just immediately take it to 16. Waste your silver. You can get to 4 without any failures. It's cheap, and you're going to have a daily pretty much to enchant a piece of gear. So this is it. You see I get the pop-up. Hey, go do it. Daily challenge, right? I'm going to get every reward I can early in the game. That's what I'm going to, so that I can get Rector Draft, because she will end up on my team. One of the things I was looking at earlier is what's the hardest thing to get in the game early on, and defense down. We'll talk about that. You can get that. A speed increase. That's something you can achieve relatively easy. But a reviver, oh my God, hey man, it's criminal how hard they make that. So it's really nice that they're giving you an opportunity to get Rector Draft here. Now it'll take a little while. I got to finish this thing. And I'm not going to pay for it, but eventually I'll get to Rector Draft, and hopefully you can see I'll collect some books along the way, and I'll be able to level up and rank up my core team here, which what here I'm showing is the IumiLove.net is a good source, a good resource. I think Hell Hades is also another good one. If you're watching this, you've already seen other content creators that are way more popular than me. Just wanted to comment that this is a good site. They do have some promo codes listed on the site. Unfortunately, I had already had Raid installed on my machine, so I was not able to get Monkey King. Even if I did, I wouldn't have used him. He's great, and you'll want him, and you'll want to focus on him, but I wasn't able to get him. If you're going to use any of these codes, Monkey King is the one. That's the one you want to use. You're only allowed to do 1 promo code per day. Now, I ended up using this one down here, which was Xmas 2024, or just Xmas 24. And I think I have one other one I was able to use. Snow Raid is still active at the time of recording this. I used both of those. The 200 energy, that's what you saw. And so you can do 1 a day. So just pumping them in. The first one you should do is Monkey King. Now I'm going to try to put a link down at the bottom of this video for some other free stuff. I don't get anything for it. I actually found it from another content creator's link and checked to see if it was still active on the Plarium site. It said it was, so I'll post that down in the notes below. It's for a legendary champ. I know Fane was the epic, which is a great epic. Unfortunately, again, I'm not going to use those through these videos because I can't guarantee that you're going to get them, because I don't know when you're going to watch this video. But ultimately, what I'm showing here is don't bother upgrading your champion vault. You're going to want to, because you go, I got limited space, but look, you've got a reserve vault. There's 210, and really what you want to do is make sure early on you're putting champs in there and saving them for later. And the ones you want to save are these ones with these little blue swirls, this yin yang sign without the dots. Those are champions that can take part in a fusion. I don't see a lot of content creators commenting on that. God only knows why. It's not clearly called out anywhere in the game that I know of, unless you go in and look at the fusions. So I take all those and I just throw them in there, and you can see I've got quite a bit, and I've already started to get some prepared for an event, and I'm just going to throw them in the reserve vault so they don't take up space for me. So I've got 15, and when you go over and you look at the fusions, you can see why I'm saving them. These things are all going to come up during the Arbiter missions. I'm trying to be prepared for that now. So I'm going to save them all, get them prepared. And even after I finish Arbiter missions, like it'll be Fuse Broadmaw, Fuse Relic Keeper, I'm not going to do it until those come up in the Arbiter mission. I will save them all until I can get Arbiter for it. After that, I will continue to save them though, because they come in handy for champion chase events, right? Where you get points for getting an epic added to your account, and it's free. It's really really low entry cost to get those kind of points later in an event. Here I'm just showing, I can't quite get to the 100% crit rate, and my crit damage is horrible. This is laughable, but for this stage of the game, it's good enough. And I think that's the important thing is you watch these videos and you see people talking about, 5-6 second speed farmers in campaign, and, spider hard teams that you can finish in 12 seconds. And yeah, you can do that. And on my main account, I can do that. But that's not relevant right now. And that's not what you should be focused on. And here I'm just showing that War Priest as a champion, I'm going to use probably to 5-star 50. And I want her to be faster than Kale so that he gets the increase attack. Now I'm going to lose this battle because I can't quite do it yet on normal, but the point there is you see she buffs up his attack, he drops the hammer with his A2. Unfortunately, my team's pretty weak outside of this, and this is going to be kind of where I'm stalled. I'm going to be stalled here, and we'll transition from advancing through missions and advancing through quests and all the challenges, and I'm going to have to take a pause and then start farming food. That will be the next thing that I do with this account. And that'll take all my energy that I get every day for quite some time. And I'll just have to make a decision. Am I going to try to get Kale to 6-star first, which for me probably will be the case, or if I'm going to work on getting another champion to 5-star to help me finish this. And it's a tough decision for me right now. And so just end that. Here I'm just going to walk through, for those that may not know, if you're more familiar with this, and again, very, very basics here. How do you level up a champ? One of my friends got into this game and he's like, I'm so confused, I don't understand. You keep saying it's 2-star 20, 3-star 30. So when you look at champs, they all have a star rating. 1 star through 6 stars. For every star that they have, the maximum level they can get is the number of stars times 10. So a 1-star champion can only get to level 10. A 2-star champion can only get to 20, 3-star to 30, so on and so forth. You cannot increase the rank, i.e. the stars, of a champion without him already or her being already maxed. So a 1-star champion cannot progress to a 2-star until they're level 10. Not 9, not 7, 10. And a 2-star has to get to 20. And they have to eat other champions that are of their equal rank. Or of their equal rank. So a 1-star level 10 champion needs to eat food, that's what we call it, food, a 1-star champion. A 2-star 20 champion needs to eat 2-star champions, and a 3-star 30 needs to eat 3 stars. And that goes all the way up to 50 and 5-star, where when Kale, who is 50 and 5-star, will need 5 other champions of 5-star in order to transition to be a 6-star. You figure it out if you fumble around enough, but I've just talked to enough people where they get frustrated. So see here, I took Sister Militant up to 10. Now I can feed her another 1-star champion, which progresses her to a 2-star. Right? Just for the demo, I'm going to go ahead and grab another champion, Shield Guard, who, he's all right. I may end up using him. I'm going to max him to 20. Hit upgrade, go to upgrade rank, and I'm going to feed him 2 other 2-star champions. Now we'll talk about champion training tournaments and things like that where points are more important later when one pops up, but this is how you do it. This is the functionality of upgrading and leveling a champion. And then to change their stars from gold to that purple, you just ascend them, and I think I covered that here in a second. I'm not going to do this because potions are rare for me at this point, but I did do it for Kale. That's important to note is, hey, I didn't campaign battle him the whole way through. In order to progress in the campaign, first thing I did is I fed him potions, I fed him other champions, I fed him chickens, whatever I had to speed the process up. I use those resources because the faster, and they give them to you. Part of this tutorial in the first day or two is they're giving you those resources ultimately to level up your starter champion. That's what it's for. There's no sense in hoarding them this early. The hoarding of resources and being really diligent with your spending of resources, much more important, after you've been playing the game for a month. Right now, you're focused on leveling up your starter champ. Again, I do recommend it to be Kale. Here I'm just noting that some of the missions and challenges are to do various things and various keeps. For the first week of the game, they're all open to you. After that, they go into a rotation, and you'll have to wait. So if it says, hey, go do something in Force Keep, and it's not open, you'll have to wait. That's just the way the game is. Other things I'm showing is ultimately in the Masteries, which is another layer of champion development, that you can go into the Minotaur dungeon and farm them up. Now, I'm only doing the very minimum right now because I think getting to 5-star 50 was more important than spending any time at Minotaur. And you could spend a week leveling up at Minotaur one champion. Just to be clear, it takes a ton of energy to do it. And if you want to know more about that, there's a lot of videos on that, on how to do it. But early on, I don't see a huge return on it, because you're trying to get through the normal campaign, then you're going to transition to hard, and at some point you're going to hit a wall. The Masteries might be good when you've hit that wall, but I don't think you need them before 5-star 50. Now, I did a couple runs because you needed to for missions and quests, and here I'm just showing that you can do it and that you're going to get a reward. Do not bring food into here. If you're just trying to get them onto one champion, try to solo it with them. If you're trying to get it on 2, then bring in 2 champions. But you can level here too. It's just not efficient, and we're way too early to be talking like that anyway. Again, I'm just showing a crit rate and crit damage and accuracy of the ones that you really want to get on Kale. Probably won't go past the 2nd tier for quite a while. I'm going to work on food first because I just don't need it. And the reality is it's boring. And I wanted to do some other things first, which is going to be, clear some stages of Spider, clear some stages of Dragon, go do some things in the game that are more fun than just grinding out Minotaur in my first 2 days. Here again, I'm just talking about, saving resources and ultimately doing missions, quests, challenges, and if there is a pass going on, doing those, right? Here, I just want to comment. I think many players don't do Arena because they think they're just going to lose all the time. It's true, you're going to lose all the time. And so what you really want to do is focus on where can you win, and you're looking for things like this. You need to do at the very minimum 5 battles a day. That's part of your dailies, but you should be spending some time and looking for these easy 1-stars. And every 15 minutes you can reset it. And if that sounds like a lot of work, trust me, later progressing in Arena and leveling up your clan hall, which we're not going to talk about today, but leveling up that clan hall will net your account greater gains than Minotaur or anything else. Here I'm just looking at some of the opponents. Where do I think I can win? Where do I not think I can win? Commenting that the team power number is really more indicative of the team's overall resistance, not whether or not you can win. I try to look at what champs they have and determine, do they have champions like epics and Wukongs and things like that I probably cannot compete with just yet because I'm 3 days in. Is my gear that I have for my team good enough to beat them? Well, in this case it was. But again, back to speed tuning, I just took my Kale as far as I could take them in lifesteal gear, as much speed as I could get them, and as close to 100% crit rate as I could. Then I geared up War Priest to be just a little faster than him for Arena. The other champions are just there to be there. I get them as geared as I can, but those two, my first one is War Priest. Speed does increase attack. Then Kale drops his A2. And ultimately, if I can't win the speed race, I'm probably not going to win. So just looking up and down, who can I beat? Well, this one's a maybe. but he's been playing longer, and I can tell because he's got 5-star epic, and he's got another 4-star 40 epic. I haven't gotten a single epic yet, so that tells me he's probably got better gear too if he's been playing at all intelligently, and if they've gotten better champions, especially this early, where this one I think I can win. It's only 3 champions, 2 of them are 3-star 30. Could be a bait. That is a 5-star 50 Gaelic. But I got to take the chance. I got to go somewhere. So I'm going to go to my team, do my setup, because I'm going to get serious about it. I'm going to put Kale in the lead, War Priest, and then 2 other champions, set up my skills. I want War Priest to always do attack up as her opener. And then I'm going to have Kale drop his A2 for his opener. Now, the AI is actually tuned pretty well for these champions, so I don't really have to do that, and I hadn't up until this point. But just as a demo, this is where you go to pre-set up your team, and ultimately later we'll get other champions that give us decreased down or increased speed or these other arena-specific things that are important. Now, I won't want to do a video on that until I get those champions. I'll touch on that later here. There are some champions we're definitely hunting for in campaign, and just I'll touch here in a second, but you can see I'm just going through doing my bare minimums. I did my upgrades only to a level 4. I'm going to finish up my arena battles. Again, I'm going to go look at who do I think I can beat. This guy, maybe. Well, Crusader's nice there because he's got that ally attack. It's random. You know, you don't know who you're going to get, but it is a nice little skill there in the arena. And here we're going to take a shot. Now, I don't have high hopes because he's already got another epic that's as high as me. But again, sometimes they don't have them speed tuned right. And I'm trying to be expeditious with the speed of how much time I'm spending here. Already this video is going to be 30 minutes, which is crazy. But there's a lot to cover in the first day, 2 or 3, right? So I'm going to collect my reward there. And again, all I'm really trying to do is get my dailies done for the 10 gems. That's all I really care about. Other things worth noting is if your energy is above the number on the left there next to the lightning bolt, if it's larger than the one on the right, you don't continue to accrue energy. So you always want to be using it as often as possible, because like at 121 over 97, yeah, I'm not going to get any energy over time. I need to bring that number down under 97. And also, here's where I'm talking about other champions you want to be able to get, and you know what I'm going to be doing. So to go beat the campaign bosses, I'm going to be doing it and making sure I can do it solo with Kale, right? Because that means I can add food, which I'm going to do. I'm going to add some food there and level up some other champions like I showed you earlier, so that I can start progressing. I might want to progress my War Priest to 50. And there's 2 other champions I'll talk about here in just a minute that we're definitely going to go hunt for. And they're guaranteed, they're free. It is RNG. You know, you do have to hope for a little luck on when you're going to get them. But they're going to be important to progressing our account. And they're just rares. And I think, you know, that's why I made this channel, is so many people get watching, you know, these creators, and they're like, oh, I got 2 newts, and I've got my Marius, and I've got this champ and that champ. There's absolutely ways to beat this game. Well, not to beat the game, but to be successful in the game without doing that. So here we're looking at champions. I like to do the speed boss champion, speed, because both of these champions are good, right? If you read through their skills, both of them have some capabilities. And the other thing I like to do is, there's a chance if I do the boss that I can get rare gear, not just common and uncommon. And I'm really hoping for, on this stage, the 4-star speed boots. If I can get rare 4-star speed boots, that's awesome. And that's why I do the speed dungeon over the other dungeons. Now, later game, when you're farming brutal and you're doing 12-3, that's all about getting silver. We're way far away from that right now. Probably easily a week or 2 away from being able to farm brutal 12-3. And even then, I need speed gear so bad, I will still go back to the speed campaign mission and hopes for the gear rather than the silver, because it is better to do 12-3, but I think people over-fixate on that. So here I'm showing you there's 2 champions we want to go. One is the Deadlands. We definitely want War Maiden. You know, I touch on it a little bit. She's got defense down, and she's a pretty hard hitting champion for a rare champion. She's 100% going to end up on our arena team. 100% she's going to end up on our clan boss team because she has defense down, and it's the big version. And I didn't touch on that a lot, but in this game, there's a lot of things there's two versions, kind of the entry level version and then the souped up version. Some champions, even though they're entry level, have souped up versions. Now, Diabolist is like a Sifi Light. Here she can fill all the turn meters of your team, right? And decrease the turn meter of the other team. That's going to be something I'm going to end up opening with, and she will be my fastest champ eventually, once I get her. Then she can place an increased speed buff on all my allies. So that's both of those buffs are very, very good, or both of those skills are very, very good. Now the sleep, everybody poo-poos it and says it's not that great. Well, it comes in pretty handy with Sifi all the time. The problem here is it's only a 20% chance, even when she's booked up. But that's better than nothing. And no rare champion is I shouldn't say no champ. Most rare champions aren't 100% success rate anyway. So those are where you're going to get those champs. So we will spend our time when we're leveling up food in these places. I'll probably go until I get one of each, and then I will pick one, right? I will pick one to go get a bunch more times so that I don't have to get books. And then I'll use the books that I get on the other one, right? Until I start pulling other champions. And even then, I'm going to avoid, a random pool of a great champion. If I happen to get one, well, that's unlikely to happen to your account. So we're going to focus on just how to beat the game with champions anybody can get. You don't need luck. It doesn't need to be a fusion. Like, literally champions you can get. You can get them either through the guaranteed fusions like Rosin, Broadmaul, Relic Keeper, Mikage. That's what we're working for. Arbiter's one we're going to work for. There's going to be login champs that we get that are like Syl the Drakes. Hey, we're going to get these champions, and we're going to build everything we do around those champions on this channel. And if you happen to get RNG something that's better, good for you. That's what makes the game fun, is you get different stuff than other people. Like one of the things I talk about is I got a buddy that I got into this game about a year and a half ago. He's probably got 8 or 9 champions that I don't have, and I've got +1 Sifi on my main account. I've got 2 Newts. I've been doing fusion since the beginning of the game. I've skipped very few of them, just because wherever I was at in life at that time, I haven't done them all. But, I've got a very, very stacked account for my main account. I can finish Plat Arena, do all those kinds of things. But I still like logging in his account and seeing how those champions that he's gotten that I don't play. And here I'm just showing, after I get the gem mine done, what I really want to do is focus on unlocking these, because they're free food, right? So I spent my first 1,000 gems on upgrading the mine to level 2. The next one, my next upgrade will be to upgrade the mine. Then I will spend my gems getting these slots unlocked. And that will be what pushes my account forward all the time. And again, by the end of the second week, I think I'll have all that done. We'll see. It depends on what tournaments and things pop up and what I can or can't get done. But I'll be judicious with my energy. But for now, I'm just clearing dots here because the red dots drive me nuts on the index. And I'll do a real account tour probably at the end of the week. So come Sunday, maybe Monday, I'll take a look. Here I'm just showing I've already got 2 void shards. I've got 9 ancient shards, over 100 mystery shards. I've only been playing the game for 3 days. Now, if I were to just start opening these, I wouldn't get anything, first of all. Oh, I mean, you could. And some people, they say that's the way you do it. You start an account, you get the free login champs, and you pull until you get something because, you have a better rate. Well, I've never seen any proof of that you're better off pulling early. I've not seen that. Here I'm just showing you, hey, this is the novice tournament that everybody gets when they first start in. There's no chance I'm getting to that point. That person probably used their gems to get to that point and didn't do the gem mine. And, that's an option. And if people are doing that, they're going to spend all their gems to go in hard early, see if they pull a great champ. And if they don't, they're going to start a new account. I see it on Reddit all the time. And, should I start over? These are the first 2 legendaries I got. Well, I just don't think that's the way the game's meant to be played. You're going to get good champs eventually, and you won't have the books to book those legendaries if you did pull them early anyway. So why the hell do you need them? That's the way I look at it. Here I'm showing, hey, I've gotten all the way to Dragon 7. I stopped there, didn't push the account any further because that allows me to potentially get 5-star gear, which is very important. So I think 7's a nice milestone, and we'll talk about other milestones later. This is the team I'm using to do it. It does it very easily, by the way. 8's a push. I couldn't do it because I did that when Kale was 4, and I'm just showing you, I took all the extra energy I had over at the end of the first night when I had, I think, a couple thousand energy, and I used all my battles once I was able to do Dragon 7, and I just spent every ounce of energy in Dragon. And so I've gotten this account to already, in day 3, I don't keep 1-star gear, 2-star gear, or 3-star gear. All gone, all sold immediately for silver. You can see I had 120 something pieces that were 4-star, 30 something pieces that are 5-star. Now I'm just going to go through and finish my dailies. Again, that's the focus here. Just need to finish my dailies. If you can do Faction Wars, do Faction Wars. But I think right now, Dark Elves is the only one I can do, because I have a Kale, and I think I show you that here. So Kale can do, I don't really have anybody that can complete a Faction War stage yet. That just comes with time, guys. Be patient. Don't freak out. You don't need to beat the game in 3 days. You couldn't do it even if you spent $100,000. That's not this kind of game. I like to look at Raid as a puzzle game. You look at it like a chess/puzzle game on what pieces do I have to make what moves to beat whatever piece of content I'm going to be trying to beat. That's the focus. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I will try to pump out another shorter one later, but really just wanted to throw this out. Background noise for you. Sorry about the audio quality. I don't have good gear. I'm doing this with ultimately a phone, an iPad, and my AirPods. That's the kind of video editing equipment that I have. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.